ガーディアンがこちらの動きを掴んでいたの。おかげで私たちはおろか、須崎たちも浮き足立っているところよ。
That's how Akane-san explained it. How did they find out?
さあ、彼らはこういうことが根っから得意なのよ。対して私たちは素人同然だわ。
Could they have a mole?
すべてが最初から露見していたなら、私たちはもっと致命的な打撃を受けていたと思うわ。でも今まだ鍵はこちらの手にある。彼らも緊急展開したということよ。
So, Suzaki's men rushed out here because they realized we found the key. Then Guardian noticed that and figured out something was happening here. This is no time for infighting.
そうね。でも人間とは難しいものだわ。須崎はかなりの人員をこの件で割いているわ。この局面は三者のいずれにとっても関ヶ原となってしまったの。けれど戦力の乏しい私たちは事態の見通しが良くなってしまう前に現場から消え去らねばならないわ。情勢の推移次第ではこのまま全面抗争に突入する恐れもある。
I'll hurry. I put Shimako and the key on top of the wolf, and we start moving through the forest. I can feel cold-blooded hunters approaching from various directions. Shimako quickly sends familiars toward each of them, so we manage to avoid a fight. If the wolves weren't here, we would have been surrounded and annihilated by now.
小太郎、一人来るわ。
One of the hunters broke through the wolves and is heading right for us. But the dense trees make it hard to plan a direct attack. By sheer coincidence, we run into each other just after coming into a clearing. Our eyes meet. He's wearing some mountaineering equipment, but he's obviously not normal. He immediately notices that Shimako is a summoner and heads for her. I stand in his way. A bundle of blades come out of my wrist. I'm starting to understand how to use these things. I hold my arm out as if releasing guard dogs. My claws extend fiercely toward him as if they have a life of their own. I'm not controlling them at all. I leave the attacking to this pseudo-familiar. My arm is just a leash attaching me to it. The only thing I have to do is keep track of the distance between me and the enemy, and occasionally support them with my left hand. The blades wrap around him, using only their combat instincts, sinking their fangs into his neck. They pierce his skin and ravage his flesh. Despite those severe wounds, he won't let go of his weapon. I can tell he's waiting for a chance to counterattack. He might have a few tricks I don't know about. I have to make sure he can't use them. I twist my arm, causing the blades to pull him down to his knees. Then I fling him against the tree trunk. Then pull him back and fling him forward again. I was focused. I never considered being merciful. Eventually, I feel his resistance less and less. But since I can still see him holding his weapon, my terror doesn't let up. I push my whole body weight against him through my right hand. All the blades run deeper into him. The man's legs begin convulsing. I continue pushing until he stops moving. Let's go. She looks pale. I just showed her an extremely brutal way of killing someone. That can't be good for her. Sorry, you should try to forget about this.
また数人、後方から接近しているわ。手だれよ。
She's right. I can feel intense danger approaching rapidly. Probably 3 or 4 people. I'll...
待って、もう少し進んで。
But...
もう少し行けば助かるわ。いいから急いで。
Got it. I move on ahead for now. But they're faster. I'm losing it. Guardian superhumans are far more terrifying than any of these familiars. Akane-san, there's no time. I have to fight. I pull out the revolver with my left hand and make blades with my right. I can tell they've set their sights on me. It's likely they'll try projectile attacks. I keep my mind focused on the darkness behind me. Something cuts through the darkness and flies toward me. My strengthened senses detect it. I sent my blades around to the arrow. My blades shatter from the strain. But the arrow flies off in a different direction, completely missing me. Any familiar would die after one hit from that. I hold my revolver with both hands. I pinpoint their locations and pull the trigger. The bullet is sucked into the darkness. I'm pretty sure I missed. They stop moving. They must not have expected gunfire. That won't stop them for long. I catch up to Shimako. 4 hounds rush by to take my place. Reinforcements? Shimako, are you controlling them? I'm amazed you can control that many at once, but don't hurt yourself, you've got a long life ahead of you. She answers by making a V shape with her fingers. You're doing really well. I find myself smiling. I can feel our pursuers slowing down behind us. The familiars are delaying them.
可能な限り援軍をそちらに合流させるわ。だからとにかく移動に専念して。お前たちの前方に本体を移動させたわ。
In that case, Shimako takes control of all the reinforcements from the disciples and sends them toward our pursuers. The scout bird flies over our heads, acting as our eyes and ears, even though it only has 1 wing. That's why we can keep avoiding the superhumans. This was a long day, but I'm going to get out of here and end it. Shimako, how many familiars are you controlling now? She makes an X with her hands. So this wolf carrying her is the only one left.
仕方ないわ。敵の数も多かったもの。よくあの数の魔物でしのいだものだわ。
What about Suzaki's man?
ちょうどガーディアンに分担された形ね。
So they wanted us to all go in different directions, and that actually had our side.
まだ結果とは言えないわね。そのセリフを言いたいなら、すべて終わってからになさい。
I know, there aren't any enemies near here right now. This time, the scout bird bursts apart for real. I immediately realize it was sniped. Damn it, get down! Shimako lies down flat on the wolf's back. That was an arrow. It might be the same person who tried to shoot me earlier. Run! The wolf starts running. I run alongside it. I look behind me, checking if there's a second shot coming. I don't feel anything, so he must not know where we are yet. But he's there somewhere. He's trying to find me right now. There! The man holds a competition bow fully drawn and stands low, trying to blend into the background. He releases an arrow. This time, I won't be able to knock it out of the way. It's too fast! The lightning-fast arrow lands in the wolf next to me. The familiar falls to one side in mid-stride. Then it turns to dust. I feel gut-wrenching pain. Shimako! She's fine. But she was thrown off and is now lying unconscious on the ground. I pick her up. Her body feels really warm. She's been using familiars for too long. I should have expected this. These powers all have a price. Our own lives are what allow familiars to move. I carry Shimako as I search for the key. Obviously, I'm an amateur, and I have no way of escaping this situation on my own. The only reason I've survived this long is because of my Aurora. Then let's me exchange something for power. I've always been afraid of using that power, and in the past it also felt really unfair. But surviving right now is more important. All humans have to take advantage of what they are good at in order to live. People who fight their own nature never accomplish anything. I need to accept this power. It's not my real strength, and it's not something I earned through hard work. It's just something I was born with. If I could become a hero through sheer effort, that would be great. But I'm not living for the sake of being noble or honorable. I use unfair and cowardly tactics whenever I need to. That's what I've been doing for the past few hours. I've been mentally prepared to do that. I believed that would allow me to accomplish something here. Inside me, something violent stirs. Something lurking in my blood vessels, something that helped strengthen me. The slit in my wrist opens. Blades crawl out. 3 brutal claws. They don't look that different. They seem a little more lifelike than before, but that's the only change I can see. But now they have brutality and ferocity, and those traits make them dependable. Aurora beasts. Living blades that eat into enemies all on their own. A third shot. Even I can see the arrow coming, but my blades react to it. They lunge toward it automatically. They capture and break the arrow in front of me. A fourth shot. Same result. The Aurora beasts instinctively destroy it. I leave defense to them and pick up Shimako and the key with my left arm. I move toward the rendezvous point. With 2 girls under my arm, it's slow. He fires several more arrows, but none of them hit. Before I realize it, I'm completely surrounded. I could probably hold them off for a little while. I can't afford to think about anything after that. All the superhumans raise their weapons and close in. I get down on the ground, covering Shimako and the key. The forest explodes. What? The superhumans are distracted. As splinters fly through the air, Akane shows herself. I'm shocked to see her here without anyone defending her.
生きてる、小太郎。
She kneels down next to me. Akane's face softens with relief.
よかった。
Seeing her warm, gentle face makes me feel relieved too. One of the superhumans rushes toward us. Akane-san, look out!
愚かしい。
The air suddenly freezes. All the superhumans jump back, except for the one heading toward Akane. A large, snake-like creature appears from behind the trees and runs through the man's chest. As it holds him up in midair, his limbs spasm, then he dies. It's not a snake. It's the tail of something much bigger. It steps toward us with audible footfalls over the pile of splinters from the trees it broke through. We are covered by a mountainous shadow. Even the cool-headed superhumans are clearly shaken. Oh shit! It's the T-Rex familiar. An enormous, unparalleled beast. It's so big I lose my sense of scale. I can't grasp its shape from this angle. Just looking at it makes me feel uneasy. It doesn't feel real. I'm looking straight up at it, but I still can't believe it. It's a familiar. An incredible, huge dragon. And it's not alone. More new familiars rush forth as if to protect us. Wolves, hounds, birds, and robed women controlling them. They put the bag with the key on one of the familiars and carry it back to a safe place. Akane pulls me up. I see someone carrying Shimako and finally let myself relax. What is...
ディナモサウルス。地竜よ。
Earth Dragon?
最大級の魔物ね。古い、何百年も前から存在する。彼は私たちにとって特別な存在だわ。
Akane watches the dragon advance with hollow eyes. Its steps are surprisingly quiet. I can feel the ground shake a little each time, but far less than I would expect given its size. Despite its enormous body, its moves are seamless and efficient. A T-Rex.
攻撃を開始する。月組、草組は左翼。雪、風は右翼に。組番を持たぬ者は、つくのの指示に従って。
She gives a series of firm, resolute orders. The superhumans back off and hide. They don't seem like they're retreating. They're surprised at what just happened, but they haven't lost the will to fight. The battle begins. The Earth Dragon cuts into their ranks. It fights with its enormous jaw and its long tail that acts as both a spear and a club. Guardian moves around it, staying out of its range. Despite their superpowers, they are hesitating to attack. The dragon doesn't rely on its body weight to fight. It nimbly evades stronger attacks, and its own attacks are quick and precise. In comparison, the superhumans running around it look like they are wasting a lot of energy. The dragon is used to fighting humans. It excels at countering their techniques. The tail thrusts. One of the superhumans just jumped to one side, so it aims where he lands. His head flies off before he can even attempt to dodge. Amazing. It knocks over trees effortlessly. The forest looks as if a typhoon came through it. The superhumans run around, bewildered. They can't stay in the same place for more than a moment. But the dragon starts to take noticeable damage. Spears pierce it, its skin is cut, and eventually it falls to one knee. It leans to one side and groans in agony. Seeing their chance, the superhumans start to focus their attacks. Projectiles come at the earth dragon from several shadows. Ah!
大丈夫よ。
The dragon twists its body. One of the superhumans gets hit by the tail and bursts apart like a paper balloon. Then it bites another one in half with its enormous jaw. Yet another tries approaching it from the side, but it gets swiped away by the dragon's foot. Someone's axe twirls through the air. It lands in the ground like a tombstone for its former owner. Multiple people vanished in an instant. The dragon looks down on the shocked humans and casually shakes the blood off his tail. He is an expert at this.
あのサイズの魔物は活動するために複数の命を使い尽くすの。
Multiple lives?
だから気軽には使えないし、満足いくだけの契約者が用意できないこともある。年下手魔物というものは、わずかな命をうまく使うことを学んでいるわ。
Their attacks weaken. They still have the dragon surrounded, but they're hesitating to attack. That's when the disciples' other familiars go on the attack. The superhumans gradually start falling back, but they still show no sign of retreating. They're hoping to hold their position until we let up. They're waiting for something. Akane-sama, the key! One of the disciples runs up to us. She looks pale as she whispers something in Akane's ear.
小太郎、鍵が暴れているようなの。お願いできて。
I head over and find the key on the verge of waking up. Its eyes are closed, but it's standing up on its own, and its ribbons are filling the area. The restraints they used on it lie on the ground in pieces. This is bad. We gave it another dose of the anesthetic, but it isn't working.
体勢ができてしまったのでしょう。うかつだったわ。考慮すべきだった。
It's on edge right now, so giving it another injection would be difficult. Even Imamiya's son got his arm cut off by these ribbons. They can kill humans if need be. This won't be easy. A ripple runs through my body. My instincts scream. I can't stand here. I grab Akane to protect her and fall to the ground. A fraction of a second later, a shockwave passes over our heads. There's a man in a dark suit holding a reinforced compound bow and running between the trees. The dragon casually swings its tail, knocking the axe in the ground back into the air. It spins directly toward the man. I can see it cutting his chest in half. That's the guy who's been trying to finish me off this whole time. I prefer to have defeated him myself. But reality couldn't care less about my petty desires. It only becomes more cruel. The key! The arrow didn't hit us, but it did open a huge hole in the key's chest. This was always their main objective. Crap. It wasn't an instant death. The key writhes in agony. It instinctively tries to defend itself, making its ribbons multiply until they fill the entire area. They slice apart everything they can reach. It's too dangerous! Everyone, get away from it! All the disciples back away in a slight panic. A boulder within range of the ribbons gets diced up like a potato. It's completely lost control. Suddenly, the ribbons stop. They harden in midair, like a set of overlapping ripples.
どうしたのかしら。
As we watch them, the ribbons lose their glow and start to crumble. They break up into glowing dust, just like familiars. So that's it. I try to accept it. It's probably wilting. Akane gasps. We are about to lose something we spent an immense amount of effort to secure. It doesn't stop crumbling. Its beautiful human body shrivels up and hardens like a dried leaf. The collapsing ribbons form a cloud of snow covering the ground. Even those particles only exist for a fleeting moment. In no time at all, they disappear. Guardian rapidly retreats. They achieve their objective. I sigh with disappointment and walk up to the girl-shaped corpse.
小太郎
It's fine. There is no life left in it anymore. The disciples watch from afar, but Akane walks out to me. Sorry, I wasn't strong enough.
そんなことはないわ。
She shakes her head, blaming herself.
本当よ。最善以上の結果を出してくれた。正直、こんなに動いてくれるとは期待していなかったもの。力を尽くしたのだから、結果は関係ない。なんて、みんなの前では言えないけど、私個人としては感謝しているわ。